So we'll begin with drawing the parietal peritoneum, and we'll kind of draw that lining the inner abdominal wall. So bring this all around here, lining those inner lateral muscles, inner ribs. We'll bring it up, and it's going to come around, and the kidney's going to be behind the parietal peritoneum, and we'll kind of bring it down around, and we'll stop it about right here. So that is going to be parietal peritoneum. Next, we will draw the visceral peritoneum, and all of these organs are lined by visceral peritoneum. Now, this is a super simplified version. I've removed some of the intestines just so we can kind of gather our thoughts and think about what we're lining. This is the spleen. This would still be lined by visceral peritoneum. Next, we will put in the connecting peritoneum. So we know that these organs are surrounded by visceral peritoneum and they're connected to the dorsal abdominal wall by connecting peritoneum, two-layered, and they come up and they contain the vessels. So we'll kind of draw those up like this, coming up from each organ, and they're connecting to the parietal peritoneum. So we know the spleen is also connected by dorsal and ventral connecting peritoneum, such as the greater omentum and things like that, but we're not going to see it through this midsection of the organ like this. Next, we will indicate where is the peritoneal cavity found. So obviously, anywhere between visceral peritoneums or between visceral and parietal peritoneums, this would be all the areas where you would find the peritoneal cavity. Now, as we said in the previous page, though, it's not this big wide open space here. It's one continuous cavity, but we know within here is a bunch of folded mesentery and fat and things like that in reality. And again, we've simplified this, but this is where you would find the peritoneal cavity. So let's go ahead and go back and label these. This is visceral peritoneum, and the green is connecting peritoneum, and the yellow represents where you're going to find peritoneal cavity. So let's continue and kind of fill in where our spaces are then. So if we keep going, we can label the space behind the parietal peritoneum where you find the kidney, the abdominal vena cava, and the aorta. These areas would be retroperitoneal. So this is where you have retroperitoneal space. We already mentioned that this space in here is where you're going to find the peritoneal cavity. This space out here would represent the extra-abdominal space. So we're going to find things like the lumbar muscles, the abdominal muscles of the wall, the ribs, and this fascia out here. That's all like extra-abdominal space. Another space you should be aware of is the intraperitoneal. So inside these organs would be intraperitoneal space. And by definition, intraperitoneal is an organ, the inside area of an organ or its cavities that are suspended by two sheets of connecting peritoneum. That would be intraperitoneal. So again, our spaces are intraperitoneal, peritoneal cavity, retroperitoneal, and extra-abdominal space. Extra-abdominal would be outside the abdominal cavity. Retroperitoneal would be inside the abdominal cavity, but behind the parietal peritoneum.